LTC Solution provides a scheduling module that allows all staff to view their respective schedule. Supervisors can create their schedule based on the number and type of staff needed for their department. Shifts may also be updated by supervisors in the event that an employee is unable to work, or if a shift is switched with another employee. Extra shifts may also be added as needed. Shifts may also be deleted by supervisors if they are found to be unnecessary for that day, week, or even month. Supervisors and staff may also put in their requests for time off in this module. These requests will then be available for supervisors and directors to view in their My Tasks icon, and then accept or reject these requests. Staff may view if the request has been accepted or rejected by viewing the Time Off report in the Reports section. As an added feature, supervisors can also copy their schedule of the last 7 days if it remains unchanged for the upcoming week. The program also allows administrators and supervisors to assign tasks for staff. Begin by starting in the Tasks tab in the Scheduling module and select the Set Up Tasks link for the appropriate department. You will then be prompted to enter the number of tasks you would like to create. After submitting this information, you will now enter what task you wish to create, a start and end time frame, and an optional start and end date if the task is only temporary. You will then select how often the task should be performed and what days of the week. You will also specify where the task should be performed and what type of staff it should be assigned to. You will repeat this process until all new task information is filled out. When you're finished entering task information, click the Submit Record button. These tasks will now be displayed in the appropriate department's Task tab. To view notes in the daily log, start on your department's main page and select the daily log icon. Next, click on the day you wish to view. The daily log is set up to allow any facility staff to write notes pertaining to a resident, as well as general notes pertaining to a specific department or the entire facility. The daily log is also used to document other incidents and occurrences to other staff, such as if a medication was not given to a resident because of a specific circumstance. This is a very useful tool to help keep all staff informed and up to date. Supervisors should also familiarize themselves with the extensive list of reports available to them. Begin by clicking on the Reports icon in the home page. A list of reports for every department will now be displayed. Clicking on any report allows the user to view it. If supervisors have any questions, a detailed summary of the reports is available in the Help menu at the top right corner of the screen. The Help menu also provides summaries as well as video tutorials of other areas of the program that supervisors and staff may have questions about. The next step is to establish items for services provided by the facility staff. You will then individually enter each POC service until you have all services you provide to accommodate your facility's resident needs and requests. As an optional feature, you can assign a point value to each item and relate it to a specific dollar amount that can be used to bill a resident according to their needs and frequency of those needs. When you are finished entering plan of care items to the system, the POC items page should look similar to this. You are now ready for the next step. The next step is to establish a plan of care schedule for your facility's residents according to their needs and requests. You will now individually enter each resident's plan of care using the POC items you set up earlier. When establishing the POC, you'll be given the option of how often to perform each service, as well as the time that the service should be performed and who should perform it. You will also enter the estimated time in minutes that is required to perform each service, as well as the number of staff and the minimum requirement level needed to perform the service. You will be asked to select a date that you wish to begin performing the service, with an optional end date selection box included if the service is only to be provided temporarily. Be sure to add any notes you may have regarding performing a particular service, or if special needs are to be performed for a resident. When you're finished entering plan of care items for a resident, their plan of care list might look something like this, displaying the days and times that each service is scheduled to be performed. A useful tool included in the POC module allows you to run a report within a specific date range that will display what service was performed, what day and time it was performed, and who performed it. To establish a new EMAR, start in the EMAR tab in the resident's homepage and select the Establish EMAR link. You will begin by individually entering each resident's diagnosis, allergies, and diet restrictions. You will then count the number of medications you wish to enter, and enter that number in the box provided. Once you've submitted this information, you'll be ready to enter medication. Begin entering the medication name, the dosage, and any notes that may be included. For example, if the medication dose is different than a single tab, it needs to be noted. After you've done this, enter the frequency and time or times that the medication is to be given. Select the start date that the medication is to be given. If it is to be given for the current day, a box will appear and you will be asked if the medication should be added to the current day's EMAR. What that means is that if you are planning on administering that medication for the current day, you will need to check the box. When you're finished adding medications, click the Submit button. If you are planning to establish sliding scale insulin for a resident, it's important to know if the resident requires a time-sensitive sliding scale, or if they have a set dosage based on their AccuCheck, regardless of time. A time-sensitive sliding scale is for residents who have a different sliding scale dose for different times. To establish sliding scale insulin for diabetic residents, click on the Establish Sliding Scale Insulin link on the EMAR homepage. You will then be asked which resident to apply it to, and how many blood sugar reading increments to add. After submitting the information, you will then be able to fill out all of the necessary information to successfully administer insulin. To administer insulin using a time-sensitive sliding scale, start on the EMAR tab in the resident's homepage and select the Establish Time-Sensitive Sliding Scale Insulin link. You will now select which resident you wish to apply this to and how many blood sugar increment readings you would like to set up. After you have submitted this information, you will now be able to fill out the low and high-end blood sugar increment readings, the insulin name, the dosage, and the time to administer it. If staff have any questions about specific functions in any module or pertaining to a certain task, they are encouraged to reference the Help menu in the top corner of their screen, which provides a detailed written explanation of how to access and perform various modules and their functions. Video tutorials are included as well.